So guys, Chinese bikes, what a controversy it's caused in the market, price wise as well as a sentiment of either hate or jealousy or whatever, I don't know. But some of the comments I've seen on some of my posts would smack of a bit of jealousy and a bit of hate combined, I think. I had a comment recently, just close my visor, with one guy saying, why the hell would you buy this piece of Chinese expletive? Well, and why wouldn't you buy a Aprilia Touareg or a European bike? And I pointed out in the comments that most European bikes, or a lot of European bikes now, are made in Asia, whether it be Thailand, China, India, or a plethora of other countries, Malaysia, who are making bikes and producing bikes. Even Triumph, the 400 series, is made by Voge in India. So the world is changing, and this idea that we shouldn't buy foreign-made bikes or foreign-made items is a bit absurd, really. Now, I don't know whether it's a cultural thing with China, because the technology in China is it's very advanced. The way of life in China, it's not as communist countries are portrayed, neither is Russia. These are modern countries with modern technologies, and China is one of the leaders, as you know, in technology and advancements. The space race, they're up there with everybody else now. They've just landed another rocket on the spaceship on the moon, on the far side of the moon. And Japanese technology and Indian technology, they're leading the way now in a lot of fields, is becoming prevalent in the world now. Going back to the 50s and 60s, just after the war, the UK, Great Britain as it was known then, was still considered a world leader and a world power before the empire, as it were, per se, disbanded and people took independence from the empire. I think then there was some status to European manufacturing, and it's interesting to see after the war the general consensus against, say, Japan or Germany. Now, Japan and Germany were both aggressors during the Second World War, and Japan attacked America and Pearl Harbor, as we know from history, and Germany invaded France and Poland, and that started the Second World War as we know it now. So after the Second World War, what happened? Well, after the Second World War, we piled shed loads of money into Germany and into Japan, the Americans, to rebuild those countries after the war. So basically they were the aggressors, and after the war we helped them financially and in all other ways, and quickly through that help and restructuring and rebuilding and the change of their ideas and ideology, they became manufacturing world leaders. We know that German technology is one of the best technology in the world, and Japanese technology again and build quality is synonymous with Germany and Japan. The work ethic in Japan in producing things is outstanding. So it's quite strange that we have the situation where we have two countries who are aggressors, and not long after the war we helped them to revive their industries and build on technologies they had, and they become world leaders in that area, and we suddenly then want all things Japanese and all things German. I'm not knocking that. I mean, it is what it is, and that's how life evolves, and that's how it should be. We should be allowed to make mistakes and go forward in life and rebuild and make ourselves better, which is what happened. But I remember in the 70s, I'm showing my age now, I remember in the 70s in the UK when I started motorcycling, late 70s, all the bikes that we jumped on as 16-year-olds were Japanese. I can't remember any British bikes at that time who produced a moped type motorbike, and they were little motorbikes but basically a moped. So you had the Suzuki AP50, I remember, you had little Hondas, and I had a Yamaha FS1E, little fizzy, and they were the bikes, and Suzukis, and they were the bikes we all looked to get when we were 16 and get ourselves out and about on the road. And we had great fun. We unrestricted them, and they only did 45-50 mile an hour, but we had cracking fun on them. But then I advanced on to bigger Yamahas and never really thought about anything British. A mate of mine had a little Bantam that he used to work on that would work and wouldn't work, leaked oil, wouldn't start, would start, and we had all these Japanese bikes where we just pressed a button and away we went. And they were quick. We had two-stroke 250s that were super quick at the time. So yeah, we embraced Japanese technology. The cars came into the UK the same in the 70s. When I was doing my apprenticeship, a guy I worked with bought a Datsun 120Y and picked me up one day to take me to work. I was waiting at a bus stop and I couldn't believe it. This thing was like a spaceship. It was super quiet. Everything was included in there. It had a radio cassette, and most cars, British cars and even American cars at the time, you had to put an awful lot of extras in yourself and add them onto the purchase list. And I remember the Ford Cortinas and Escorts and Vauxhall Vivas that we were driving in the late 70s. You looked at the doors on them and they were a painted door with maybe a strip of plastic on there, and the dash, a lot of the dashes were metal with a bit of plastic. And Datsun and Nissan, it was later to become, brought these cars in with carpets, and they were very plush and everything that was in at a reduced price, and people bought them. And it changed the market. Soon Toyota, Honda, Nissan became market leaders, known for the quality of their products, and our mindset changed. We became consumers of Japanese technology. Japanese technology that previously, only some 20 years before that, 20-25 years before that, were major aggressors that were not just aggressive against America, but also our troops who went out there to fight. Horrendous things happened, and here we are embracing that technology now. We get to the noughties now, and in Spain for the last 5-6 years, Voge has had a major foothold. I said in previous videos they've got 21 or 22 bikes with their electric bikes in their catalogue here in Spain, and a wide dealer network, wide dealer showrooms, main dealer showrooms. And I don't know what it is in Spain, whether it's because they've not had this outside aggression. They weren't involved in the First or Second World War. They had the Civil War here in Spain. And because they stayed neutral during the Second World War, they've not got this mentality of having a hatred against another nation per se. And I think that has a lot to do with how certainly Brits perceive outside countries. We either love them or we hate them, or we embrace them or we don't embrace them. And I think certainly on English side of comments that I'm getting, I don't get any negative comments here in Spain about riding a Chinese motorcycle. The comments here are all positive. People want to know about it. They want to know about the collaboration with BMW about this bike. But the UK comments I get, and I don't delete them, I've left them on there. It's pointless deleting anything, but they're so aggressive. It's a crazy mindset, really. When you consider KTM now is owned by CF Motos, by market share of their shares they own in the company. I think CF Moto have 51% of the company now. They've just got the main amount of shares in the company. And other companies, Benelli, is it QJ Motors of China own Benelli? Same with BMW. You've got Voge now, the parent company Musings, making the 400 scooter that BMW have, and all their parallel twin engines. And one thing I didn't really realise previously is that I thought the engine was designed, the R&D behind the engine was designed by BMW, but it turns out it wasn't. The engine is designed and built by Musings. Obviously that's been built to a specification that maybe BMW has put forward to them after the Rotax engines, the Austrian company stopped producing the Rotax engines. So I would think BMW went to Musings and said, look, you produce a unit, we'll test it, we'll see if we like it. You produce it, show us what you can make, and we'll use it very similar to what they do with the Rotax engines, and that's what happened. So this particular engine that's in this bike, the 900 Voge engine that's also in the BMW bikes, I think primarily it's an amazing engine. I mean, okay, I've moaned and had a bit of a jib about the gearbox, but even that now is getting smoother by the day, and I'm sure the more mileage I get on this bike, the better it will get. Once I get up to 2,000-3,000 kilometers, it'll be even better. But yeah, the prejudice, I think, is unfounded, guys. I mean, you're quite happy to pick up an iPhone, an iPad, or a Huawei phone, a Xiaomi phone, even a lot of the well-known brands like Samsung are factored out into other countries. They're not all made in Korea. A lot of them are factored out into Thailand and other countries to be made. So there's this thing where things are made in Asia and we have a distrust of them. I think it's down to the press and the fear-mongering that you buy something from China. I saw a comment about the navigation system on this bike and how you have to register and you have to do this and that, and people said, oh, I'm not going to do that because once that's registered and it's got GPS and all the rest of it, the Chinese will be tracking me. Well, I don't think, to be honest, they're really interested in Joe Bloggs riding his bike around Spain no more than they are with the mass of population in any country. They're not going to be looking for spyware in your bike because you're insignificant, you're a non-entity to them, really. So guys, make of it what you will, but like I said, there's a revolution coming, and you've seen the side of the channel, Motec Revolution, and that is because the market's constantly changing and the build quality of this bike is superb. I can't see any real corners that have been cut, and if I do find any faults or any corners that have been cut, I'll be sure to let you know. But at the moment, I'm loving this 100%. Each time I ride it, I enjoy it more. It's great to ride. It's much easier to ride than the V-Strom. Although it's a bigger bike, it feels bigger, it feels more imposing. It's a super machine all round, guys. So look out for my full review, not long-term review, but full owner's review. When I get a few more kilometers on this bike, I'm going to do a full review, warts and all. If there's anything I don't like, I'm going to tell you about it. But again, guys, subscribe to my channel, keep an eye on the channel, tell me what content you want, ask me if you want me to review a certain bike. I'll get in touch with the dealership and I'll review it. Especially if you're in Spain, any questions you've got, you know, if you're in this area and you want to meet up and a ride out, give me a shout. And like, subscribe, press the thumbs up button, and you'll get notifications if you tap that notification bell. And I'll catch you in the next one, guys. So peace out and ride safe and enjoy your motorcycling.